these politicians, both sides, Democrats and Republicans. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a Democrat, but they have fucked us over for the last 40 years. And for once, and not all of them, but for once, we're standing up as a union, probably the only one right now, saying, what the have you done for us?
Teamsters President Sean O'Brien made an appearance on Theo Vaughn's podcast and talked a little bit about the state of the Democratic Party as it pertains to labor and real gains on behalf of labor. And honestly, for the first time for a long time, you actually have a Union Party leader calling out the Democratic Party for the way that they've been behaving toward workers over the policies that they have implemented or the policies that they've refused to implement. Now, I have kind of mixed views because I think one of the good things about the Biden administration has been the fact that he's been far more pro-labor than previous administrations, certainly in my lifetime. Yes, he squashed the rail workers strike, but behind the scenes, and he got no credit for this, by the way, behind the scenes, he worked to negotiate to ensure that they got what they were asking for, which was the paid time off. So I wanted to give you that caveat, but without further ado, let's get to more of what he had to say.
And I'm getting attacked from the left, and we've given, since I've been in office 2.5 years, we've given the Democratic machine $15.7 million. We've given Republicans about 340,000, truth be told. So it's like, people say the Democratic Party is the party of the working people. They're bought and paid for by big tech, those big tech companies.
Yeah, tech is the new fossil fuel, man.
Right?
That's what I say.
Right, and you've got the Republicans who are now saying, hey, we want to be the working class party, right? And okay, you've got a great opportunity right now to do that. And the Democrats, if 60% of our members aren't supporting you, the system's broken.
So I certainly agree with him on that. And I've been kind of sad to see the reaction from the Democratic Party and Democratic voters in regard to the Teamsters members and how 60% of them, based on 2 separate polls, indicates that they support Trump over Kamala Harris. Now, I can understand if you think that makes no sense, if you think that's ridiculous, but I think the Democratic Party needs to try to figure out why do these Teamsters members feel this way? But instead, they're upset, and a lot of the criticisms I've seen have kind of focused on the belief that these Teamsters members are supporting Trump because they prefer bigotry over real gains for workers. I disagree with that take entirely.
Well, we have one of our members who's a Teamster. I'm sure we have many, but the one that just wrote in JMC, and I want to give him the first word and then I'll weigh in on it. He said, as a Teamster, I'm not upset O'Brien went on Theo Vaughn's podcast. I'm mad how the right and certain journalists are twisting his words and creating a BS narrative that isn't true. So let me build on that. First, thank you for being a member. Appreciate you guys. Hit the join button below to become a member. Be part of the show. So that's right. I think that the reason that he's right is that the headlines I'm seeing is like as if Sean O'Brien and the Teamsters are now fully pro-Trump, pro-Republican. But wait a minute, they didn't endorse Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. And if you watch and listen to the podcast, he said he's a lifelong Democrat. And he's just frustrated that the Democrats are not delivering. So I'm gonna ask a rhetorical question, but then I'll answer it. So what do you want him to do? Lie to you and say the Democrats did deliver when he knows that they didn't deliver?
Yes.
And yes, that's the answer. And so every establishment Democrat says, of course you should lie and pretend the Democrats did things that they didn't do. And they say that with all earnestness. And they don't think they're the bad guys for saying that. They're positive that they're incredibly decent moral people for asking that brother to lie, right? Because in their minds, they think Trump is such an evil, so anything to make sure that he's defeated, and hence you have to say nothing but positive things about his opponents. No, the much better path is to be honest so people believe you, okay?
Yep,
and that's what Sean O'Brien's doing. He's being absolutely honest, and I find him 10,000 times more credible than any partisan hack who comes out there with their talking points that we've all already heard, spouting fake robotic BS. So thank you, Sean O'Brien.
Sean O'Brien's role as the head of the Teamsters union is to represent the Teamsters, to represent their best interests. And so I need to understand from those individuals who are going after him so viciously, how do you expect the Democratic Party to ever change, to ever actually listen to the concerns of working people in the country, to actually go back to what they were used to, what they used to be known as, which is the party of FDR? How do you expect any of that to happen if the Teamsters president or any other labor union leader doesn't call them out on what's been going on?
So let me give you the most obvious example that the press never talks about because it's inconvenient, okay? The PRO Act. So, and it's not just the PRO Act under the Biden administration. Every Democrat in my lifetime has said, oh, when we come in, we're gonna pass this pro-labor bill. That's gonna be our first priority all day. And none of them even propose it.
Right, and the PRO Act would allow for people to organize their workplace and form unions a little more easy than what they're experiencing now in some of these like right to work states.
To give you a sense of like, look, I don't even agree with the entire PRO Act. There's parts that I disagree with and parts that I love, right? But the point isn't the Democrats should do what I want or what I like. These guys have given you millions and millions of dollars out of their paychecks. And I'm not talking about Sean O'Brien, I'm talking about the average Teamster guy, okay? They take money out of his paycheck, it goes to a union fund, and they give it largely to Democrats. So when you keep telling the Teamsters and every other union that you're gonna do the PRO Act or you're gonna pass a bill that helps labor, and then you don't even try to do that, please spare me your BS.
Yeah.
And all the establishment Democrats saying, no, lie, lie, lie. No, don't lie. Thank you, Sean O'Brien, for not lying. And you're never going to get them to pass any of those bills unless you hold them accountable. If they think, oh, I'll just take these suckers' money and I never deliver for them, well, they're never gonna listen to you. Just like Israel never listens to us because we give them infinite money, total blank checks, and we never hold them accountable. This is easy, obvious logic. But the next time to go to screw over union, the Democrats, they might think, oh, well, we could lose the Teamsters. And that's a couple $1 million, and that's this, and that's that, and that's a bunch of voters. Now they got a little fear in their heart. Good.
That's how democracy is supposed to work, right?
Exactly, guys. You don't want to put fear in a politician's heart about violence or physicality. That's for losers, okay? But on electoral consequences, you want to put a lot of fear in their heart. You want them to think, well, if I screw them over, I might not win. Yes, otherwise they're never ever going to deliver for you. So sorry to all the other union leaders whom I like a lot these days. The union leaders have gone from totally incompetent to like lions all of a sudden, right? But among those, even though he's the one not fighting Trump, and I hate Trump, I like Sean O'Brien the best now because he's being the most honest and using his leverage most effectively.
He's using his leverage, and I think that's important, especially during an election. Okay, so there's a final video that I want to go to because O'Brien decides to detail an interaction he had with Democratic leadership. Let's take a look.
I had a heated discussion 2 weeks ago with Chuck Schumer, and it got ugly.
Chuck Schumer is a piece of.
And it got ugly because, these politicians, the one thing I've learned, they walk in and they tell you, I did this for you. Okay, great. Let me tell you what you haven't done for us or our members. And we got into it pretty heavy. And I'm like, you had no problem taking $550,000 from me 3 weeks prior to me going on the Republican National Convention. And then you want to be a tough guy on Twitter or X or whatever it is and throw it out there about me, like whatever.
I love his energy. I just do. I love his whole vibe, to be honest, because it's so straight to the point. And I love the fact that he's not really calling out corruption, but in the way that he's framing this issue, he's calling out, he's drawing attention to the corruption, right? Because oftentimes when we talk about corruption, guys, we talk about it in the context of corporations. But remember, police unions have a lot of power. They also do lobbying. So don't make the assumption that it's only corporations. Unions also have a tremendous amount of influence over politicians because they also contribute a lot of money to various politicians.
And so do some foreign governments, I hear. Okay, so look, guys, Sean O'Brien is, if you think he's like some sort of Republican or operative, no, not even close. He nearly got into a fist fight with a Republican senator, Senator Waingro from Oklahoma, like just about a year ago. Do we have that on tape?
We do have
right?
That video.
Here, take a look at this.
Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me, any place, anytime, cowboy. Sir, this is a time, this is a place. If you want to run your mouth, we can be two consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big
No,
guy.
stop it.
Is that your solution?
Every pull it. No, sit down. Sit down. Okay. You know, you're a United States Senator. Sit down.
Active.
Oh, okay.
Sit down, please.
All right.
No.
Bernie's the best part.
No,
right?
I love every part of that video, right? Especially because during one of the shots, all you see is Bernie's hand doing like the typical Bernie hand thing that he does.
Yeah. You look, even if you didn't hear his classic voice, you would know it from the hand motion.
100%.
Right? Okay.
You're a United States Senator. Sit down. You're a United States Senator.
But you see, that's Sean O'Brien, not like from 20 years ago, but like from a year ago, barely, maybe not even, getting into a fight with a Republican senator because he's not playing and he's not trying to pick sides. He's trying to look out for his union members, and that's what he's supposed to do. So now go to over the Democrats, Chuck Schumer running his mouth. Well, okay, but guys, when Chuck Schumer and the other Democrats and the other Republicans, so Republicans, Teamsters, if you're watching or anybody that's watching, Republicans are the party of the rich. They're a party of big business. They've never helped you. They're never gonna help you. They're for lower wages. They always fight for lower wages. Always, anytime that there's a strike, they say fire him. Donald Trump brags about firing everybody and say, oh yeah, I'd fire, right? Mm-hmm. They hate the workers. So that's, to me, that's a given. But when you come over to the Democrats, and so Chuck Schumer and all you guys, you take money from the corporations and you kiss their ass. You take money from me and you spit in my face. Why should I applaud it and pretend it's raining? No, if you're gonna take my money, then you're gonna do what I tell you to do, just like every goddamn donor, okay? If you say, hey, we're not taking money anymore, we're not corrupt anymore, great, I love it.
Yeah.
Because then labor's gonna win because we have more people on our side and we have more voters, right? But if you're gonna do your corruption and the only people you don't listen to is labor, well, that's a raw deal.
Totally.
And if you're not calling that out, you're not standing up for your members. So thank you, Sean O'Brien.
Definitely. Now, unfortunately, the Democratic Party has been losing working class support, and I dive into that. I just wanted to quickly mention the very right-wing piece I wrote recently. More working class voters are flocking to Trump. Can Democrats win them back? In it, I talk about what Democrats can do to win them back. So check that out. It's at Kasparian.substack.com.
But Anna, wait a minute.
Yeah.
My
Super
God.
right wing.
I didn't know you were going to be honest in Substack. I mean, quoting polling about how the non-college educated voters are going towards Trump. What are you doing quoting facts? Have you turned right wing? I mean,
Super
come
right
on,
wing.
guys.
I'm wearing a red dress.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Right. Maybe not a red
message.
pill, but a red dress. No, guys, seriously, and all kidding aside, so for those of you who don't know any of the internet drama, etc., people yelling at Anna for saying, oh, for like titles like that. But you gotta at least read the piece and go, oh, I get it now. She's trying to help Democrats go in a better direction instead of the direction that they're going, which isn't helping the voters or themselves. If you can't do that level of nuance, you were never going to like this show in the first place.
Yeah.
Right? So if you want just simple-minded thinking, this is my ideology, I like people who are repeating the same things I repeat all the time. There's 1,000 shows on the internet for you. But here we do nuance, and we fight for the average American, and we're honest about it. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.